The Tuesday night dinner started like every other family meal with Mom cutting my steak into smaller pieces before I could even pick up my fork. "You're cutting it wrong," she said, not looking at me. "You'll choke." I'm 29 years old. My sister Vanessa sat across from me, scrolling through her phone, her engagement ring catching the light every time she moved her hand. She'd gotten engaged 3 weeks ago to someone named Derek who worked in finance, a phrase she repeated at least twice per conversation. Dad cleared his throat. "So, Vanessa, when's Derek moving his things in?" I paused mid-bite. Vanessa looked up, smiling. "That's actually what we wanted to talk about tonight." She glanced at Mom, who nodded. "Derek and I have been looking at the space situation, and we're going to need more room." "The house is plenty big," I said quietly. Mom's fork clattered against her plate. "Actually, Sarah, that's what we need to discuss with you." The way she said my name like I'd already done something wrong. Dad folded his hands on the table. "Vanessa and Derek are starting their life together. They need space to grow as a couple. Your room has the attached bathroom and the walk-in closet." "My room," I repeated. "The master bedroom is obviously ours," Mom continued, as if I hadn't spoken. "The guest room is too small for a couple. Your room is the only logical option." Vanessa was still scrolling through her phone. "Where would I go?" I asked. "Well," Mom said, exchanging a glance with Dad. "You're almost 30. Most people your age have their own place. I work from home. I'm here all day." "Exactly," Dad interrupted. "You're here all day. Vanessa and Derek will both be working outside the home. They need this to be their sanctuary." "My sanctuary is also here," I said. Mom sighed, the kind of sigh she'd perfected over years of dealing with my difficult nature. "Sarah, you've always been so sensitive about these things. This isn't about you. This is about family, about supporting your sister as she starts this new chapter." "I support Vanessa." "Then prove it," Vanessa said, finally looking up from her phone. "Move out by Friday. Derek's lease ends this weekend, and we've already told him he can move in." The room went silent except for the sound of the dishwasher running in the kitchen. "Friday," I said. "That's 3 days. You don't have that much stuff," Mom said. "And honestly, Sarah, it's time. You can't live with your parents forever." "I pay rent," I said quietly. Dad waved his hand dismissively. "That little bit. That barely covers utilities. I'd been paying them $800 a month for the past 6 years. $4,800 a year. $28,800 total. But I didn't say that. "Where am I supposed to go in 3 days?" "You're creative," Vanessa said, returning to her phone. "You'll figure it out. You always do." Mom reached across the table and patted my hand. "We're not throwing you out, sweetie. We're just encouraging independence. You'll thank us later." I looked at my Huffington steak, the piece Mom had cut for me like I was a child. "Okay," I said. Mom blinked. Okay. I'll be out by Friday." Dad smiled, satisfied. "See, that wasn't so hard. You're being very mature about this, Sarah. We knew you'd understand eventually," Mom added. "Family always comes first, right?" "Right?" I said. Vanessa didn't look up from her phone. I went to my room for Nawand closed the door. Then I opened my laptop and pulled up my banking app. The automatic payment was scheduled for Thursday, $2,847.63. Same as it had been for the past 4 years and 3 months. I'd set it up the month after Dad lost his job at the manufacturing plant. He'd been so proud, so certain he'd find something else within weeks. But weeks turned into months, and months turned into a year. The mortgage payment notices started coming. Then, the late fees. Then, the foreclosure warning. I was 24, working remotely for a tech company in San Francisco while living in Ohio. My salary was $127,000 a year, something my family did annul because I'd learned early that sharing good news only made them find reasons why it was on that good. When the foreclosure notice came, Mom had cried at the kitchen table. Dad had locked himself in the garage. Vanessa, home from college for the summer, had posted an Instagram story about family struggles with a black and white filter. I'd called the bank that afternoon. I'd like to set up automatic payments for account number 4472883922264. I'd told them. The representative had been confused. Ma'am, this account isn't in your name. I'm aware. I'm the daughter. I'd like to make the payments. We'll need authorization from I'll pay 3 months up front right now, I'd said. Then automatic payments on the first of each month. Can you do that? They could. I never told my parents. The foreclosure notice disappeared. The late fees stopped. Dad eventually found a part-time job at a hardware store. Mom kept her book club and her garden. Vanessa graduated and moved home temporarily while she figured things out. And I kept making the payments, $2,847.63 every month for 51 months, $145,229.13. I had a spreadsheet. I had bank statements. I had records of every single transaction. My phone buzzed. A text from Vanessa. Can you also leave the bedside tables? Derek really likes them. I looked at the bedside tables I'd bought 3 years ago when I'd read $400 for the set from a local craftsman. Primera texted back sure. Another text. Thanks. You're the best, sis. I opened a new browser tab and navigated to my bank's website. Found the automatic payment section. Clicked on the mortgage payments scheduled for Thursday. My cursor hovered over the cancel payment button. I thought about Mom cutting my steak. Dad, waving away my rent contribution. Vanessa, not looking up from her phone, move out by Friday. I clicked cancel. A confirmation message appeared. Payment scheduled for 11/14 has been canceled. No further automatic payments will be processed. I took a screenshot, saved it to a folder labeled Records 2019 to 2024. Then, I opened my email and started looking for apartments. Wednesday morning. I was packing my books when Mom knocked on my door. Just checking in, she said, leaning against the doorframe. How's the packing going? Fine, I said, wrapping a framed photo in newspaper. You found a place? I'm looking at one this afternoon. That's good. That's really good, Sarah. She watched me pack for a moment. You know we love you, right? This isn't personal. I know. Vanessa just needs this right now. She's at such an important point in her life. The engagement, planning, the wedding, starting a life with Derek, Mom. It's okay. I understand. She smiled, relieved. You always were the easy one. Vanessa. She needs more, support. More validation. You've always been so independent. Independent. That was the word they used when they meant ignored. I should finish packing, I said. Of course. Of course. She started to leave, then turned back. Oh, and Sarah. Try not to make a big production of leaving. Vanessa's been stressed lately, and I don't want her feeling guilty. I won't, I said. She closed the door. I went back to packing, and then my phone buzzed. A calendar reminder. Mortgage payment schedule canceled. Thursday morning. I was loading boxers into my car when Dad came out to the driveway. Need help? He asked. I'm okay. He stood there, hands in his pockets, watching me load a lamp. You know, Sarah, this is really for the best. You'll see, sometimes we need a push to move forward in life. And it's not like we're kicking you out onto the street. You're a grown woman with a good job. You'll be fine. I placed another box in the trunk. Your mother and I, we've been talking. We think this might be the thing you need. To really loans. You've been comfortable here. Maybe too comfortable. Maybe, I said. Vanessa, she's always been a go-getter. Always pushing herself. Remember when she started that Etsy shop? She sold 3 bracelets. But she tried. That's the point. She puts herself out there. He paused. You've always been more quiet. More in the background. I closed the trunk. I should get back to packing. Right? Just wanted to say. No hard feelings. Okay, this is just how families work sometimes. People need different things at different times. No hard feelings, I said. He patted my shoulder and went back inside. I checked my phone. It was 11:47 a.m. The mortgage payment would have processed by now if I hadn't canceled it. The bank would attempt to pull the funds, find nothing authorized, and then I went back to my room and kept packing. Thursday afternoon, I was at a small apartment across town, signing a 6-month lease. The landlord, a woman in her 60s named Patricia, showed me around the one-bedroom unit. "It's quiet," she said. "Most tenants are young professionals. We have a gym in the building, and parking is included." "It's perfect," I said. "You seem stressed," she observed. "Moving is always hard." "Family situation," I said. She nodded knowingly. "Sei inamore. Inamore. First month and security deposit, and you can move in tomorrow if you'd like." I wrote the check. When I got back to my parents' house, Vanessa's car was in the driveway along with a U-Haul truck. Derek was carrying boxers up the front steps, boxers going into my room. "Hey, Sarah!" Derek called out. He was tall, wore expensive-looking workout clothes, and had the kind of smile that never quite reached his eyes. "Getting a head start on moving in. Hope that's cool." "Sure," I said. Vanessa appeared in the doorway. "Oh, good. You're back." Derek brought some of his stuff over early. "We figured since you're leaving tomorrow anyway, double quotes, no problem." "You're so understanding," she said. "Mom was worried you'd make this weird." I walked past them into the house. Most of my boxers were stacked in the hallway, now moved out of the room to make space for Derek's things. Mom was in the kitchen, arranging flowers in a vase. "Oh, Sarah, Derek brought these for us. Aren't they beautiful? He's so thoughtful." "Very thoughtful," I said. "Did you find a place?" "Signed a lease today. I'll move the rest of my stuff tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow morning? I thought you'd be out tonight." "My lease starts tomorrow." She frowned slightly. "Well, Derek's already moving his things in, so it might be a bit cramped tonight. I'll manage." "You're not going to make this difficult, are you?" I looked at her. At the flowers Derek had brought, at the smile on her face that she reserved for Vanessa and, apparently, now, Derek. "Not difficult at all," I said. That night, I slept on the couch. My former room was full of Derek's moving boxers and furniture. I could hear them upstairs, laughing, rearranging things. Around midnight, I heard Mom's voice. "Doesn't it look so much better already? You two are going to be so happy here." I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app one more time. The canceled payment stared back at me. Tomorrow was Friday. By Monday, the bank would send a notice. I took another screenshot. Then, I set my alarm for 6 a.m. and tried to sleep. Friday morning, I was carrying my last box to the car when the house phone rang. Mom answered in the kitchen. "Hello? Yes, this is she." "What? No, that's not there. Must be a mistake." I paused in the hallway. "We've been making payments for years," Mom said, her voice rising. "This is unacceptable. Let me speak to your supervisor." I set the box down quietly. "What do you mean the automatic payment was canceled?" "We didn't cancel anything." Dad came down the stairs. "What's going on?" Mom held up a finger. "Yesterday. No one canceled. Yes, I'll hold." "Honey?" Dad prompted. Mom covered the phone's mouthpiece. "The bank says our mortgage payment was declined. They're saying the automatic payment was canceled yesterday." Dad's face went pale. "That's impossible. We didn't. I know we didn't," Mom hissed. I picked up my box and walked toward the front door. "Sarah," Mom called out. "Sarah, wait. Primera, turn." She was standing in the kitchen doorway, phone still pressed to her ear, her face a mixture of confusion and panic. "Do you know anything about this mortgage payment issue?" "What issue?" Vanessa appeared at the top of the stairs, hair wrapped in a towel. "The bank says our mortgage payment was canceled," Dad said. joining Mom in the doorway. So, pay it, Vanessa said. Why are you freaking out? Mom went back to the phone. Yes, I'm here. What do you mean we're now past due? The payment was supposed to hello? Hello? What? She lowered the phone slowly. They hung up, she whispered. Call them back, Dad said. They said we're past due as of today, that we need to submit payment immediately or face late fees, and she looked at me, standing in the entryway with my box. Sarah, U-D-N single quotes, T.I. Met her eyes. Wouldn't what? I asked quietly. Do you know something about this? Dad asked, his voice careful. I set the box down, then I pulled out my phone, opened my photos, and handed it to Dad. He looked at the screen, his eyes widened. What is this? Bank statement, I said. Automatic payment history. Account number 447-288-392264. That's your mortgage account. Mom took the phone from Dad's hand. She stared at the screen, scrolling. This says, these payments, Sarah, what is this? 51 months of mortgage payments, I said. I set up automatic payment in August 2020 when you got the foreclosure notice. The silence in the house was absolute. You? Mom whispered. Me? But, how? Why didn't you? You never asked, Primera Saeed simply. Vanessa came down the stairs. What's going on? Your sister, Dad said slowly, still staring at the phone screen, has been paying our mortgage for 4 years. Vanessa laughed. That's ridiculous. Sarah doesn't have that kind of money. I looked at her, $2,847.63. Every month, for 51 months, $145,229.13 total. The laugh died on Vanessa's face. You're lying, she said. I took my phone back from Mom and pulled up my spreadsheet. Handed it back. Line items, every payment. Date, amount, confirmation number. Mom sank into a kitchen chair. I don't understand, Dad said. Why would you? Why didn't you tell us? You were struggling, I said. The foreclosure notice came. I had the money. It seemed like the right thing to do. But for 4 years? Mom's voice was small. Sarah, that's over $100,000. $145,000, I corrected, plus the property tax payments I've been covering for the past 2 years. That's another $18,000. Vanessa grabbed the phone, staring at the spreadsheet. This has to be fake. Bank statements are in my email, I said. I can forward them if you'd like. Every transaction is documented. Derek appeared behind Vanessa, looking confused. What's happening? No one answered him. So yesterday, Dad said slowly, when you said you'd move out, I canceled the automatic payment, I said. It was scheduled to process yesterday. I canceled it. You canceled it, Mom repeated, her voice hollow. You told me to leave, I said, so I'm leaving. All of me, including the mortgage payments. But you can't just, Vanessa started. Can't what? I asked. Stop paying for something that's not mine. Stop paying a mortgage on a house I'm not allowed to live in. That's not what we meant. Mom stood up. We didn't know. How were we supposed to know? You didn't ask, I said again. In 4 years you never once questioned why the foreclosure went away. Why the late fees stopped. Why everything was suddenly fine. Dad was reading through the spreadsheet now, his face growing paler with each line. Sarah, this is your money. Your savings. It was, I said. I was happy to help. Past tense. But we need, Mom started. You need my room for Vanessa and Derek, I finished. You need me to leave by today. You need me to not make a production of leaving. You need a lot of things, apparently, just not me. That's not fair, Vanessa said. I picked up my box. I signed a lease yesterday. I'm moving into my own apartment. I'm sure you'll figure out the mortgage situation. Wait, Dad said. Sarah, wait. We can talk about this. We can work something out. Like what? Like, ... You could stay. You could keep your room. I thought Vanessa needed the space. Mom and Dad exchanged glances. We can make other arrangements, Mom said quickly. Derek can ... They can use the guest room. It's fine. It's not fine, Vanessa said. We were promised, Vanessa, Dad said sharply. Not now. Vanessa's mouth fell open. I'd never heard Dad use that tone with her. Sarah, please, Mom said. We can discuss this. We didn't know about the mortgage. If you'd known, would it have mattered? I asked. Would you have cut my steak differently? Would Dad have listened when I mentioned my job? Would Vanessa have looked up from her phone? No one answered. I didn't pay your mortgage for recognition, I said. I did it because you're my family. Because you needed help. But you just kicked me out of my home with 3 days' notice. You moved Derek's boxers into my room before I'd even finished moving mine out. You made it very clear where I stand. We made a mistake, Dad said. We didn't understand. You didn't want to understand, I said quietly. It was easier to see me as the easy one, the independent one, the one who didn't need anything. I opened the front door. Sarah, you can't leave like this, Mom said, standing up. I'll text you my new address, I said, in case you need it for anything important. The mortgage is your responsibility now, I said. Like it always should have been. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're resourceful people. I walked out the door. Behind me, I heard Vanessa say, she's bluffing. She come back. I put the box in my car, closed the trunk, and drove away. My new apartment was small, but mine. Patricia had left a welcome basket on the kitchen counter: coffee, cookies, a small plant. I spent Friday unpacking. My phone buzzed constantly: texts, calls, voicemails. I ignored all of them. Saturday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls. I made coffee in my new kitchen, sat on my new couch, and listened to the voicemails on speaker. MOM Friday, 3:47 p.m. Sarah, please call us back. We need to talk about this mortgage situation. The bank is saying we're late, and their fees, and I don't understand what's happening. Please call. Dad Friday, 6:23 p.m. Sarah, your mother is very upset. We need to discuss this like adults. I understand you're angry, but this is serious. Call us back. Vanessa Friday, 8:14 p.m. This is so fucking typical of you. Making everything about you? Derek is freaking out, and Mom is crying, and you're just, what? Teaching us a lesson. Grow up, Sarah. Mom, Friday, 10:52 p.m. I called the bank again. They're saying we owe the November payment plus late fees. That's over $3,000, Sarah. We don't have $3,000 right now. Please, we can work this out. Just ... Please call me back. Dad, Saturday, 7:18 a.m. The bank is threatening foreclosure proceedings if we don't pay within 30 days. Sarah, I know we hurt you, but this is our home. Please, let's talk. I deleted the voicemails and made more coffee. Around noon, someone knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. Vanessa, I know you're in there, she called out. Your car's in the parking lot. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. What do you want? She looked terrible, no makeup, hair in a messy bun, wearing sweats I'd never seen her wear outside the house. We need to talk. Okay. Can I come in? No. Her eyes flashed with anger, but she controlled it. Fine. Look, I get it. You're pissed. You made your point. But this mortgage thing, you can't actually let them lose the house. Why not? Because it's their home, Sarah. Because they're our parents. And she stared at me. What do you mean, and? You can't just let them lose their house because we asked you to move out. You didn't ask, I said. You demanded. With 3 days' notice, and you started moving Derek's stuff in before I was even gone. Okay, fine. We were ashholes. Is that what you want to hear? We were insensitive ashholes who didn't appreciate you. Happy. Not particularly. Then what do you want? I leaned against the doorframe. I want to live my life without being the family's ATM machine. That's not fair. Isn't it? Who paid the mortgage, Vanessa? For 4 years. We didn't know who pays the property taxes. I don't. Who paid for Mom's kitchen renovation last year? The one she said was such a good deal. Vanessa's face went pale. Who paid for your car insurance when you forgot for 6 months and got canceled? Sarah, who gave Dad money for Christmas gifts last year because his hours got cut. She was quiet. I paid for everything, I said. And you know what I got in return? My steak cut for me like I'm 5, my job dismissed as that little remote thing, my rent contribution called barely enough for utilities, and finally, 3 days to get out because my room has better closet space. We'll pay you back, Vanessa said quickly, every cent. We'll set up a payment plan. I don't want your money. Then what? I want you to feel what it's like, I said, to be invisible until you're useful, to be dismissed until you're needed, to be told you don't matter and then asked to sacrifice everything. That's cruel. Is it? I asked. Or is it just consequences? Mom's crying herself to sleep. Dad's having panic attacks. They might lose everything. They might learn something. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know you'd paid all that. I didn't know you felt. I just thought. You thought I was fine being invisible. I finished. That I didn't need the things Vanessa needed. That I was the easy one. She wiped her eyes. What do we have to do? To fix this? You can't fix it, Vanessa. That's the point. Some things, once broken, stay broken. So you're just going to let them lose the house? Out of spite? No, I said. I'm going to let them figure out their own finances. Like adults. Like they should have been doing all along. They can't afford the mortgage without you. Then maybe they shouldn't have kicked out their cash cow with 3 days' notice. That's not, Vanessa stopped, seeming to hear her own words. Okay. Okay, I hear how that sounds. Do you? She was quiet for a long moment. Then, Derek moved out. What? This morning. He packed his stuff and left. Said the family drama was too much, that he didn't sign up for this level of dysfunction. She laughed bitterly. 3 weeks engaged, and he's gone because our family imploded. I'm sorry, I said, and meant it. No, you're not. I'm sorry, you're hurt. I'm not sorry about the rest. She nodded slowly. Fair enough. She turned to leave, then stopped. For what it's worth. I get it now, why you did this. Not agreeing with it, but I get it. That's something, I guess. Are you coming to Thanksgiving? She asked. Are you kidding? Mom's planning it anyway. Setting a place for you. She's in denial about the whole thing. Then she can stay in denial with one extra place setting. Vanessa left. The texts continued over the next week. Mom, the bank is sending someone to appraise the house for foreclosure. Sarah, please. Dad, we're meeting with a financial advisor tomorrow. He says we might be able to refinance, but we need to catch up on payments first. Can we talk? Vanessa, Mom's lost 10 pounds. She's not sleeping. I know you're angry, but please. I responded to none of them. On Wednesday, my aunt called Mom's sister, Linda, who I hadn't spoken to in 3 years. Sarah, it's Aunt Linda. Hi. Your mother called me, told me what's been happening. I'm sure she did. She's very upset. I imagine so. Sarah. Ada, she also told me about the mortgage payments. About what you've been doing for years. I was quiet. Why didn't you tell anyone? Linda asked. Would it have mattered? It would have to me, she said quietly. I knew something was off when they suddenly stopped worrying about the foreclosure, but I assumed your dad's job worked out, or they'd refinanced, or ... something. I never imagined you were carrying them. It seemed like the right thing to do at the time. And now? Now they can carry themselves. Linda sighed. Your mother is my sister, and I love her. But she's always had blind spots when it comes to you, girls. She sees what she wants to see. I know. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. Both in helping them and in stopping. They took you for granted. That's on them, not you. Thanks, Aunt Linda. Come visit sometime. Just you. We'll have coffee. Actually, talk. I'd like that. She hung up. That evening, I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. dhanderson@cityfinancial.com. Subject: Mortgage consultation -447 Maple Street, Ms. Taylor. I'm a financial advisor working with David and Carol Taylor regarding their mortgage situation. They've provided your contact information as you've been involved in payment history. I've reviewed their finances, and I need to be frank. Without resuming the payments you were making, foreclosure is almost certain within 60 days. Their current income cannot support the mortgage. However, I understand there are personal circumstances at play. If you're willing, I'd like to discuss options that might work for all parties. Perhaps a formal loan agreement, or a modified living arrangement that acknowledges your contribution. The goal is finding a solution that's sustainable and fair. Would you be open to a conversation? Best regards, David Henderson, City Financial Advisory. I stared at the email for a long time. Then I typed a response. Mr. Henderson, thank you for reaching out. I appreciate your professional approach to this situation. To be clear, I will not be resuming mortgage payments under any circumstances. This is not a negotiation tactic. It's a firm boundary. My parents need to find a housing solution that matches their actual income. This may mean selling the house, downsizing, refinancing, taking in renters, or other options. But it will not include my continued financial support. I helped them because they were family and in crisis. They responded by demanding I vacate my home with 72 hours notice to accommodate my sister's boyfriend. That revealed how they viewed my contribution and my presence. I wish them well in finding a sustainable solution. But I'm not that solution anymore. Best regards, Sarah Taylor. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. Thanksgiving came. I spent it in my apartment with Patricia from downstairs. She'd invited me when she'd heard I wasn't going to family dinner. We ordered Chinese food and watched old movies. Family's complicated, she said, opening another container of lo mein. That's an understatement. My daughter didn't talk to me for 3 years, she said. I missed her wedding, missed the birth of my first grandchild, all because I told her the truth about her fiancé. That he was bad news. Was he? Terrible news. They divorced 2 years later. She smiled sadly. She apologized. We're closed now. But those 3 years, they hurt. Do you regret telling her the truth? No, Patricia said firmly. Sometimes people need to learn their own lessons. We can't protect them from everything, even when we love them. My phone buzzed. A text from Vanessa. There's a place for you at dinner. Please, come. I turned off my phone. The following Monday, I got a call from a number I recognized. My parents' house. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello, Sarah, Dad's voice. Quiet, defeated. Can we talk? We're talking, in person, please. Just hear me out. Against my better judgment, the coffee shop on Market Street, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Just you. Thank you, he said, and hung up. Tuesday afternoon, I got to the coffee shop early. Ordered a latte. Sat by the window. Dad arrived exactly at 2 p.m. He looked like he'd aged 5 years and 2 weeks. Gray stubble, deep circles under his eyes, wrinkled shirt. He sat down across from me. Didn't order anything. Thank you for coming, he said. You have 30 minutes. He nodded. We're selling the house. I kept my expression neutral. Okay. We met with a realtor yesterday. The market's good. We should get a decent price. Enough to pay off the mortgage and have something left over. That's good. We're looking at apartments. Smaller places, something we can actually afford. He rubbed his face. Your mother's devastated. It's been her home for 22 years. I understand that's hard. Sarah, ... He looked at me. Really looked at me. I'm not here to ask you to save us again. That surprised me. No. I'm here to apologize. And to see if you can help me understand something. What? Why didn't you tell us? He asked. About the mortgage payments. About the taxes. About ... everything. Why did you just ... carry us in silence? I stirred my latte. At first, because you needed help and I could help. That's what family does. And later I realized you didn't want to know. Knowing would have meant acknowledging that your easy daughter was holding everything together. It was more comfortable to believe you'd figured it out yourselves. He flinched. That's harsh. Is it wrong? He was quiet for a long moment. No. It's not wrong. He looked out the window. Your mother and we've always worried more about Vanessa. She's always needed more attention, more support, more ... everything. And you were always so capable. So, together, we told ourselves you didn't need us the way she did. I did need you, I said quietly. Just not financially. I know that now and met my eyes. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry we took you for granted. I'm sorry we treated you like furniture always there, barely noticed, until we needed something from you. I'm sorry we kicked you out of your home, and I'm sorry it took losing everything to make me see what we'd been doing my eyes borneth, but I didn't cry. The mortgage wasn't your responsibility, he continued. It was ours. It should have always been ours. You were our child. We let you carry us. That's unforgivable. It's not unforgivable, I said, but it's not fixable either. I know. He nodded. We're going to therapy. Your mother and Vanessa, too. She's taking Derek leaving hard, blaming herself for all of this. Is she still living with you? Until we sell the house. Yeah. Then she's getting her own place, too. She got a job, a real job. Not just part-time. Says she needs to figure her shit out. He smiled slightly. Her words. Good for her. Sarah, ... I'm not asking you to forgive us, or to come back, or to resume any kind of relationship. I'm just asking. Can you understand why we did what we did? Even if it was wrong. I understand, I said. You loved Vanessa more, or at least, you loved her louder. I was easier to overlook. That's not. He stopped. Okay. Yes. That's exactly what we did, and I hate myself for it. We sat in silence. The house should sell within a few months, he said finally. We'll be out by spring. I'll text you when we have a new address. In case you ever want it. Okay. He stood up, hesitated. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you, for standing up for yourself, for having the courage to walk away. I wish you hadn't had to, but I'm proud. He left before I could respond. 3 months later, I got a text from an unknown number. Hi Sarah, it's Vanessa. Got a new phone. Just wanted to let you know, the house sold. Mom and Dad moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in Riverside. I'm in a studio downtown. Everyone's adjusting. I stared at the message for a long time before responding. Thanks for letting me know. I hope the adjustment goes smoothly. She replied immediately. Can I call you sometime? Not to ask for anything. Just to... ... talk maybe. I typed. But not yet. Understood. Take care, sis. Spring arrived. My apartment had good light in the mornings. Patricia and I had gotten into a routine of Sunday brunches. Work was good. I'd gotten a promotion. One Saturday, I was at the farmer's market when I saw Mom. She looked smaller somehow. Older. She was examining tomatoes at a vegetable stand, and she hadn't seen me. I could have walked away. Should have. Maybe. But I didn't! Mom? She turned, dropping a tomato. It rolled across the ground. Sarah. Her eyes filled immediately. Oh, Sarah. Hi. I didn't know you shopped here. Most Saturdays. We stood there awkwardly. You look good, she said. Happy. I am. You look ... different. She laughed without humor. Smaller apartment, smaller life. It's an adjustment. She paused. Your father said he talked to you back in December. He did. Did it help? Talking to him? A little? She nodded, bent to pick up the dropped tomato. I'm in therapy now. Did he tell you? He mentioned it. The therapist says I have something called golden child syndrome, that I prioritize Vanessa's needs and feelings over yours because she was more ... demanding. More present, and that I told myself you didn't need the same attention because you were independent. She looked at me. I told myself that lie for so long, I believed it. Mom, let me finish. Please. She took a breath. You were always the easy one because I made you that way. I rewarded you for not needing things by giving you even less. And when you needed something, really needed something, I didn't even notice. I didn't notice you holding us together. I didn't notice you sacrificing everything. I noticed when you stopped. A vendor called out prices. People browsed vegetables around us. I'm sorry, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I failed you as a mother. For years, I failed you. And I don't know how to fix it, or if I even can. But I need you to know ... I see it now. I see what I did. I felt tears on my face. When had I started crying? I don't know what to do with that, I said, honestly. You don't have to do anything with it, she said. Just ... No, it's true. You deserved better. You deserved a mother who saw you, who celebrated you, who cut your damn steak because you asked her to, not because she didn't think you could do it yourself. Despite everything, I laughed. A wet, broken sound. I miss you, Mom said. I miss my daughter, but I understand if you don't want to. I miss you too, I said. But I don't miss who we were, who I had to be. No, she agreed. That person shouldn't have existed. Where do we go from here? I don't know, she said. Therapy's helping me understand what I did, but understanding and fixing are different things. They are. Maybe, ... double quotes, she hesitated. Maybe we could try coffee sometime, just us. No expectations, no fixing anything. Just ... trying. I thought about Dad in the coffee shop. About Vanessa's texts, about the weight I'd been carrying for so long that I'd forgotten what it felt like to stand up straight. Maybe, I said, not today. But ... Maybe. She smiled through tears. Maybe is enough. She bought her tomatoes, I bought my vegetables, we parted ways. But this time, when she left, I felt something different. Not forgiveness exactly. Not reconciliation. But maybe, eventually, the possibility of something new. Something where I wasn't invisible until needed. Something where I mattered before the crisis. Something where the mortgage was never my responsibility in the first place. I walked back to my apartment, my small, perfect apartment, where no one cut my food, or dismissed my work, or moved someone else's boxers into my space. My phone buzzed. A text from Patricia Brunch. Tomorrow, I'm making French toast. Sounds perfect, I typed back. And for the first time in a very long time, I meant it.